This year, I set out to fulfill a long-held dream, to build an organic garden in complete harmony with the land. No heavy digging, no harsh chemicals, just simple natural methods. In my mind, I had done everything perfectly. But sometimes, hidden inside the things we love the most, is a mistake we cannot see. I didn't know it yet, but in my quiet enthusiasm, I had just invited a silent, destructive force directly into our soil. This is the story of a dream, and the lesson nature had waiting for me. Mama Marina and Sergio have always kept a beautiful garden in Martinsicuro, using traditional methods of working the soil. And apart from helping out a bit, I really don't know much about gardening. But this year, I wanna try something that has always been there in my dreams. A technique I'd read about but never had the chance to practice. I've been fascinated by a method called no-till. The core idea is to minimize how much we disturb the earth. Instead of digging, you leave it to the earthworms to decompose organic matter and naturally aerate the soil, keeping it rich and soft. For an organic garden, the gold standard is mature cow dung. When it's truly ready, it doesn't smell at all. It has the rich consistency of fresh earth. Our neighbor Pino, who raises cows, generously offered us exactly what we needed. It felt like such a beautiful gift to start building the dream. The very first step is spreading a layer of manure directly onto the ground. The next step is to lay organic mulch, like hay or straw, right on top of the manure. This creates a protective blanket that locks in moisture and regulates soil temperature, giving those hard-working worms the ultimate environment to thrive. Right on our land, we have a haystack that has been standing since last summer when we organized our second live concert at sunrise. In the occasion of the event, people from the local community had built a traditional haystack by hand, exactly how it was done generations ago before machines took over.
Un altro grandissimo applauso sia al sindaco che alla piccola, bravissima, bellissima, super mega laboriosa Tatiana.
Grazie e grazie! In the local dialect, a haystack is called a morricone because that concert was a tribute to the great composer Ennio Morricone.
Fai vibrare le nostre corde dell'anima, Vincenzo.
If you'd like to watch the first concert at sunrise, it's already available for our supporters on Patreon. And very soon, we will also be releasing Concert at Sunrise Volume 2, available both on Patreon and as a one-time purchase. The links are in the description.
That Morricone has been waiting on our land for months, and I'm so happy to finally use its straw to cover our garden beds.
Ah, 100 litri. Ora non c'è spazio.
We have an important issue to resolve on this part of the land. Rainwater rushes down from the upper hill, flooding this section of the orchard during heavy rains. If we don't make the drainage, the vegetable garden will not survive the rainy periods next spring. The truck carrying the drainage stones couldn't fit through the gate, so we have no choice but to unload it directly from the main road. And unfortunately, one of our young olive saplings ended up buried under the weight of the stones. Let's hope it's strong enough to survive.
Bagnato.
Sì. Unfortunately, the soil is so wet that after placing the first concrete ring, the walls of the well started collapsing overnight. Now we need to clear it out before installing the remaining rings.
Dai, che va? Aspetta. Vedi? Bravo. Sì, bravo. Tutto. Mamma mia.
Che preciso.
Che preciso. Abbassa! Vieni, abbassa! Vieni, 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 Alla sinistro e sinistra. Qui c'è un tratto dove viene l'acqua. Io lo sapevo.
With the heavy drainage work finished, Sergio took the tractor out to level the ground.
We also need to put up a fence around the garden to keep out the local wildlife. As I keep weeding, I can already feel how soft and nice the soil has become. The proof is right here. The weeds are absolutely thriving in it.
By the way, the little olive tree survived without a scratch.
Abbiamo speso di più per arrosticini.
Mama Marina and Sergio took a trip to a local agricultural market and came back with a beautiful variety of young plants for the garden. I'm looking forward to planting them in the garden.
E questo si sente?
Pomodoro, tondo, tutto.
Polpa.
Peperoni corno pescarese. Che bello, non vedo l'ora di andare.
Allora mancano quelli per ad Abruzzo, è ottima.
A raccogliere tutte quelle lì.
Speriamo. Io lo sai che rimangono solo 2%.
Around this time, Sergio noticed an issue with the clutch on our Lamborghini tractor. It needs a proper checkup. Thankfully, our friend Tony, who is deeply passionate about engines and machines, offered to take a look and see if he could fix it for us.
I don't think I've ever been so grateful for rain in my entire life.
basilico.
I received a wonderful gift of vegetable seeds from Mama Marina and also from Silvia. By the way, for those of you who remember Silvia from our previous episodes, during our period of absence, she sadly passed away.
Dove sta la zappetta? La zappetta piccola. Dove sta? Quale figlia? Non è il gattino.
It is important for us to share this with you. Her memory lives on here, in the seeds we plant. After sowing, I decided to cover the soil with another layer of straw to keep the seeds nice and humid. Apparently, keeping the soil wet is not going to be an issue this season. As the days are passing, I'm starting worrying about the seeds. The straw layer is a bit too heavy, and I fear that the tinier seeds, like the rucola, will not be able to push through to the light. To fix my mistake, I'll clear away the heavy straw from those areas and cover the smallest seeds with a layer of fine, loose soil. But wait, one of the young plants has been eaten all the way to the ground. The others are riddled with holes and starting to dry up. What's happening? After some research, I think I found the prime suspect. Slugs. I've decided to try a natural remedy, beer traps. They say slugs are highly attracted to the scent of fermentation. I'll bury plastic cups into the ground and fill them with beer, hoping they choose the trap over my vegetables. It looks like the traps are not really working. Almost all the slugs are ignoring the beer and prefer the plants instead. At least there is one positive note. The rucola is sprouting. The thick layer of hay was keeping the ground beautifully damp, creating a paradise for them. They were hiding under the straw all day, then coming out at night to feed on the tender new plants. At this point, I feel completely overwhelmed and confused. With a heavy heart, I've made the painful decision to temporarily pull all the hay off the soil. The mulch that was supposed to protect my dream have become a fortress for an army of invaders. Facing a full-blown infestation, I have to make a tough choice. Lose the entire garden or use an eco-friendly iron phosphate-based slug bait. It's safe for humans, birds, and beneficial insects, but deadly for slugs.
Our Lamborghini tractor is finally back.
Vabbè, ci ho rimesso la frizione, la cinta nuova, che quella se ne andava.
Apart from the clutch, Tony found several other issues with the tractor, and he managed to fix them all.
Poi, mattina, qua, e ho fatto la pozzanghera dentro il garage.
Tony wished to see the garden, as I shared with him about the struggles I'm facing. While we were talking, he mentioned that he had an extra box of the exact organic slug treatment I needed and offered it to me. After a lot of reflection these past days, I've come to realize that this slug invasion wasn't just random bad luck. The true reason was my massive enthusiasm combined with a shallow understanding of the method I wanted to apply. I jumped headfirst into it without seeking the advice of older, more experienced gardeners. I didn't spend enough time doing deep, thorough research, and I completely skipped the small details. And this was the result. The invasion happened because that beautiful haystack that had been stored outside since last summer. It had provided the perfect environment, humid, dark, and sheltered from the wind and cold, for slugs to lay thousands of eggs in the autumn. When we lovingly transported that straw into our garden, we didn't just bring mulch, we brought an entire dormant army directly to our vegetable beds. The rest of the story you already know. But maybe nature is a patient teacher, and every mistake is just a deeper way of learning how to truly care for the land. I hope so.